Now, the Urhobos are people located in the southern parts of Nigeria near the northwestern Niger Delta, now known to be a major ethnic group in Delta State, southeast Nigeria. Now, the Urhobos speak the Urhobo language. Now, in over 100 years, kings are known to hand over a father's chieftaincy title to their sons. Now, this long-standing tradition has been the culture of the people.
Well, just a few days ago, this long-standing tradition witnessed a change as the king, otherwise known as OVA, the elders and the people of Udu Kingdom deemed it fit to hand over the chieftaincy title to a woman. Now, indeed, the future is female. Now, this morning, we have joining us a sportcaster, media personality, and now a chief. We have Chief Suo Chapele, who is Okugbe number 2, or Okugbe the second of Udu Kingdom. Many thanks for joining the program, Suo, or do I call you Okugbe the second now? Congratulations on this new record-breaking title. How does it feel? I mean, you're the first female to be given this title in like, what, over 100 years now?
Oh, yes, yes. It feels surreal because when we started the process after my dad died and we buried him in October, it didn't feel like it was something that was going to be record-breaking. It was just a family meeting with my family. You know, we're 19, my brothers and I, my sisters and I, cousins and whatnot. You know, we had that meeting and we're like, okay, this is part of daddy's legacy, this is part of daddy's legacy. And, you know, we're checking out the will and what was going to happen to, you know, what he had left. And when it came to this aspect, you know, my brothers were not like that interested. They were like, no, we're not about that traditional thing. We just want to do our thing and keep it moving. And I felt some type of way because where I come from, Udu, but Aladja, which is one of the major houses. In fact, the current king comes from the Aladja axis. And as it stands, you know, I felt the love that my people had for my father. I mean, the Aladja people, they've been in a crisis for a land settlement for, give or take, 5 years off and on. And economy and commerce has been on a slow grind, but they were able to raise monies, massive monies to support us when it comes to the burial. And people cry for the kind of work my dad had done in the community and the kingdom. And I felt some type of way leaving that to just go. Because we've had great families in the Urhobo land. We've had the Hebrews, the Ayoros, the Mujes, among others. And no one in my generation and the generation before mine felt it was needful to do that. I'm based in Lagos. Most of what I do is around this aspect or outside Nigeria or something. So, but I told my brothers that I don't want to let this legacy go. And they were like, if you're interested, we'll support you. And thankfully, my king, they were the first Obidelekpe. He was very keen on it. His wife was keen on it. The Council of Elders, they were keen on it because they just want the tradition to continue even in a modern time. And I'm just glad that by the time we did it and the custodians and the historians looked at it and were like, yo, this is the first time. I felt stunned and I don't know how to act. Let me not lie, because if you check the videos, I'm probably one of the youngest from where I come from to do this. And I'm working. I'm doing this interview now, but I'm running back to my morning show on Wazobia because mom was shocked.
Yeah.
But they understood this part, and it's going to be quite a thing, marrying the modern and the rigors of trying to make a living and make your name in what you do, whether you're a sportscaster or whether you're just a regular journalist or regular work person. But I feel honored that I was deemed worthy, because truly, if I wasn't, the title would have passed on to another family. It is what is done.
Wow.
And I'm glad that my king, my people, they felt it was okay to give it to a woman. Well, gender aside, they seem to feel like I meet all the criterions. So I'm just honored.
This event clearly made headlines on social media because being that you're a woman and you're taking this title, the Okugbe II of Udu Kingdom, people talked about it and we were like, wow, that's Tracy, that's our colleague, that's my friend.
That's what?
That's what you hear on sports. And now, going forward, what will your responsibilities be now that you have this chieftaincy title of Udu Kingdom? What would it mean for you? Does it mean that we'll not see you anymore or hear you anymore on radio? What's going to happen?
That's the beauty of it. In my parents' generation, even my king was a lawyer. And when he became a lawyer and became a king, he stopped working as a lawyer. My dad was a marine engineer, as well as a businessman and a contractor. He was also a justice of peace, among other things. But when he took on the title of, Okugbe, that's the peacemaker, and AKA the unifier, because that's what Okugbe means, he kind of rearranged his career to suit the needs of his people. But times are changing. Like I said, you have to make your daily 2K. For me, the good thing is the bulk of what I've worked on for the past decade has been sports. And sports is one of the ways that unifies people, no matter whether you're a king or a pauper. It doesn't matter whether you're blue collar or white collar. When everybody sits at a stadium and Cristiano Ronaldo scores, everybody shouts, it's a goal. Or Nigeria makes a bucket on behalf of the country, everybody shouts, up Nigeria. So I hope that I would use my work as a sports journalist, my work as a journalist generally, to shine positive light on my community. The hope is to work with foundations such as the Wilson Ejeben Foundation, among others. I've been doing that before in other states, like Edo State and whatnot. I've been doing that working with the United States missions in Nigeria, working with people like Fortem and Inspire. But I hope to transfer what we do in other states into my community and into my state. Wow. If it's just inter-school sports alone, that will change lives, because Nigerians and Africans and world people know that the Southerners are big in athletics, are big in sports. And if they have something to look out for, that will tackle things like cyber crime that's really prevalent in young youths from my community, from my kingdom, among other things. So the hope is to work with organizations, work with parastatals and corporations, and create avenues where youths, especially developing youths in their preteens and their teen age, can compete and do what they naturally are gifted at. And that's the project we are looking at next year.
That's beautiful. Now, so you mentioned that you are 19. Are you talking about your siblings or your extended family? Because that's a lot of numbers.
Are you guys in the South? We have so many.
Oh, okay. Okay, so now, so I wanted to also, I mean, you've gotten this title, which is a traditional title. Does this mean that you will get involved in some traditional meetings where they are mostly men, or does this mean that your birthplace has been taken up, or is this still the same?
Yeah.
For a lot of people, it means different things. From your own tradition, does it mean that you will get involved in more meetings that are predominantly men or male, or does this mean you still remain the same in terms of status quo?
So there are women chiefs in my community in Urhobo land. We have young chiefs even. I was blessed to have a friend, Chief Christabel Biwebi, that was from another kingdom in Ugeli, where she got her own title when she was in her 20s. But the difference between what has gone on before and what is happening now is I am inheriting my father's home.
Wow.
And in that stand, that means that if I had gotten the chieftaincy as a married woman, that my husband had gotten the title, I would have been given a title. And maybe me and my husband are not together. That means whatever privileges are there, I would no longer have it. What happens is I'm just a culture custodian now. I will sit in the place where the men sit, where they have the conversations pertaining to our traditions and our culture and our people, according to the level that my grade reached, because everything is by grade. They are ruling houses and they are elders. For now, I'm one of the youngest. I don't know if I'm going to sit in the high end with the executives, but one thing I know for sure is, for now, I will be in a place where my father has been. Maybe not all the places, but I will sit where my seniors are. And hopefully I'll get some wisdom as well, because that is needed. We need to translate that to the next generation.
This is a very first, Tracy, as we say, Africa First right here on News Central. This is a very first for Udu Kingdom out there in Delta State. Inheritance from a father in Urhobo land, from a father to a daughter for a chieftaincy title. Well, I'm sure lots of Africans are seeing this right now, wondering, wow, a woman. Well, congratulations, Chief. And how do we address you? Chief.
Olorogun.
Olorogun. Olorogun. Olorogun. Mingwa.
Migwa.
No. Just the Olorogun and I'm fine. That's
Olorogun. All right. Olorogun, which is the Okugbe, the second Chief Chapele Suo. Thank you very much for coming on Breakfast Central.
Thank you for having me. Have a good one.
All right.
All right.
Well.